Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go!
Welcome to our website. We've got loads of news and gossip for you today. But first, here's a new song.
What would you do to get to me? What would you say to have you wait? Would you give up or try again? If I hesitate to let you in, now would you be yourself or play a role? Tell all the boys or keep it low. If I say no, would you turn away or play me off? Or would you say, and if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. I'm into you, you into me, but I can't let it go so easily. Not till I see what this could be eternity or just a week. You know our chemistry is off the chain. It's perfect now, but will it change? This ain't a yes, this ain't a no. Just do your thing, we'll see how it goes. And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, you can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again. If you don't wanna throw it all away, I might be shy on the first day. What about the next day? I said you don't wanna throw it all away. I might be bugging on the first day. What about the next day? And if at first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again. You can dust it off and try again, try again. Cause if at first you don't succeed, try again. Dust yourself off and try again, try again.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
It's still in travel mode from our morning show.
I gotta tell you, mission accomplished today.
Yeah?
Yes. I thoroughly confused you and Slick, the bell, the wrong open because it's the right open is the wrong open. I thoroughly confused everybody.
Everyone is sort of just on autopilot letting you do your thing, Batman, because you're in a whole nother zone doing what you do.
Okay, follow the fingers. You following the fingers? Monday and Wednesday, we do the brunch hour from 11 to 1. Brunch.
You got that?
That's lunch minus breakfast, you get brunch. That doesn't surprise me.
Why did you delete the board?
I didn't delete anything. It's there. He just doesn't find it. Tuesday, Wednesday, No, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. The 3-finger finale is social media days.
Okay.
We got it?
Got it.
Remember, lunch minus breakfast equals
Brunch. And as we have our brunch hour, we've got a better cup of coffee than I made you for breakfast this morning because I made a pot of coffee, Rosie, that would have put hair on your chest. And then when I was rinsing out your cup this morning, there were grinds in it. I don't know what happened. My deepest apologies. This is a much better pot, right? I got to go with what I know.
I need you to stop making coffee.
Well, you were supposed to make it, and you got sidetracked to another room.
I need you to stop making coffee. Did you throw out the old grounds?
Mm-hmm. But yet
you
there were
sure?
there were so many when I rinsed it out.
Did you rinse it?
I did.
Are you sure?
And then when I rinsed out the grounds the second time, I'm like, they birthed new grounds somehow. The grounds expanded like that sanitary pad here today. Next thing I knew, there were grinds everywhere in this situation.
She brought up the S word, sanitary.
I have to tell you, I had a meeting this morning with a new client, and I did not expect the meeting to go from skincare to sanitary pads. And it's been a long time since I've had a conversation about sanitary pads. All because I'm a woman doesn't mean I'm used to having these conversations, but yet it seems like you're supposed to be okay with these conversations. And then it went from sanitary pads for younger women to regular pads for incontinent women. And somewhere in there, these are all supposed to be normal conversations. So, oh, it's coming, so don't you worry about that.
And the unique thing is that I will be using these pads before her.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I'm
for prostate health. It's got a
health.
negative ion strip in it, so it keeps you fresh and clean and protects your prostate.
Yes.
So
That's what I'm saying. Men are going to be using this product before even doing.
So it is
But
interesting.
the killer of this product,
Oh.
the caveat, the creme de la creme is to wake up next to your significant other, whoever she or he may be. Doesn't matter now.
Correct.
Doesn't matter. Because you're going to wake up to freshness and the morning sun. Because you ain't got to work out. You ain't got to wake up to that crazy person laying next to you.
You know, the things that you expect as normal as a woman when you go through what you go through from your teenage years up until whenever you're not getting it, you realize it's just not fair and it's just not right, and you wish there were a better way. And now there seems to be a better way. So she takes these pads.
I saw that.
And we do the whole water TV test.
A mug.
Right? And but it's a water TV test, and then there's my one. And then I blotted them to see how much water came out of one and how much water came out of the other, right? And so all the things, and then she starts peeling apart the layers and puts it in a mug of water, and this polymer expands in the mug. The entire thing, you saw that? And expands some more. And then she turns the mug upside down. This all comes from one panty liner, not even like an overnight pad. And nothing comes out of it. At that point, you're out. Slick's long gone. He's got boba tea coming in the front door. And then she changes the whole conversation to Spanish because the creators are from the Dominican Republic. But they live here in Boynton Beach. That is not your lunch, is all I can tell you.
I gotta say, I've never seen such a wild conversation.
Now you guys have thrown me for a loop.
So you never know what's going to happen here today.
Millennials look at things very crazy. Now, I got to tell you another thing. I just got a phone call from the governor. They want to bring 1,000 of those pants for the Nurse Hurricane because they're going to put it along the beach. And we won't get no beach erosion.
You're so crazy.
There won't be any beach erosion.
You're drinking too much of that coffee.
I think we both are.
You're so crazy, but you never know what's going to walk through our doors.
This thing will suck up your pool. If you got to dry up your pool, you don't need a pump. Just put a few of these bad boys in there.
And
It's
then
all
she took
over.
the water back from the other pad that didn't absorb and poured it in this new pad, and it still absorbed it. I don't know how I'm going to wash it
I'm
out.
not sure you're helping her sell these pads.
At the moment, it's sitting in the sink because I got to figure out how to even wash out this
I'm going to tell you,
polymer.
I had a whole campaign in my head when she was talking to me, and pictures of the mummy came up. It suck you dry.
So sick.
Okay.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh! And this is
Having
what we
too much
do.
fun today. That was, come on. She put the thing on my head. I looked up and said, oh God. Oh my God, not even a drop came out of this thing.
Oh my goodness. Happy Tuesday, everyone. It's Talk to Me Tuesday. It is a beautiful 63 degrees outside in South Florida. Beautiful. Yes, Steve. We didn't go with the long sleeves, but I went with the long skirt and the boots, Steve. So if you're watching, Steve, grab this one's for you. He's at a
Steve,
wedding, I think.
He's at a wedding. He's at a wedding right now.
Down here, actually.
Listen, we had some fun. We did the Mick Bazzuli show. I haven't done that show in 2.5 years.
He's funny.
He's hilarious. I did that show. He's going to be on Mondays at 9 o'clock. And then to cut some time, we did the morning show from there. We highlighted Sarah and Flip. You can see Sarah's eyes. She's a new producer that we got from
She's a
New
sweet
York.
girl.
Her eyes are this big. She's like, what is he going to ask me
She's
next?
still in the polite zone. You know, when people start working with you and they're very polite and they do their due diligence, she's still in that polite, whatever I can do to help zone. And then you're with us a little bit longer.
Enjoy
Then it
it.
turns,
And then you turn into a Lana who looks at Slick like this, cross-eyed, like.
and then worse than that, it turned to Slick, into the Slick zone.
Then you start eating funky things, and you win Miss South Florida Fair, and now we've got
then
a
you
fantastic
become-
crew.
And then you become Josh. It's all over.
But Josh is back. We've got our A squad is back in the house. We've got everyone coming back from winter break, and everyone's healing and healthy, thank goodness, and back on track to do what we got to do.
And I made a promise that we were going to raise awareness on our merchandise store for us, for you, and for anybody watching. And I'm glad that, what are you doing?
You have room now.
I'm glad that Josh Square is back in the house because he's a big tie into doing that. So let's get your merch on. The designers are back in the house. That's what Sarah's going to be doing. That's what, on Friday, what's her name?
Sabrina, Salsa.
All of those people.
He doesn't even
We
know
have
who works
our
with
comic
us.
strip girl.
Oh, Bailey,
Bailey.
yes.
Comic strip, when she started, oh my God, wait till you see what she put together. We are going to be putting pieces of the comic strip in to the deal. So you may be in our next cafe comic strip, Adventures of the Cafe comic strip, which we're going to be coming out with this year.
Sounds
Adventures of
good.
The cafe. So we've got Rosie Sherman joining us, a new artist at the Brooklyn Cafe Studios. I'm really, really excited to have Rosie as part of the artwork that gets to hang here. So you see two new pieces behind us. This one is Walking in the Rain, and Rosie's going to describe some pieces. The piece that she has, one that we've loved for so many years. And you're funny when you said to her, how is it not sold? She says it has 5 times. I keep making a new one because everyone loves it so much.
I remember this when we first met her.
Yes.
Right, these pieces. And we were talking about, I put side-by-side pieces in Studio A. And I asked everybody came in and said, oh, look, I like this better than that, or I like that better than this. And it was just interesting to get people to look at it, so I did it again today. Actually, Slick had these in reverse,
Okay.
so I reversed them because I
Why?
know that this is more me.
Oh, that's more you. Okay.
She is more control chaos. I'm just chaos.
I love all of her pieces. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, you get to meet Rosie face to face. Stay tuned. We're very excited to show you the new artwork that is hanging here in our theater. Give us
All
a
for
call.
sale, by the way.
888-994-4995, Studio A. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
Once a professional musician, artist Steven Zwirn uses his creativity through multimedia artistic expression. His compositions use acrylic paint to create 3D masterpieces. Steven's fascination with brilliant colors and intriguing patterns with jewels and rhinestones entices the eye with color and dimension. For more information on the artwork of Steven Zwirn, contact Stephen at 914-656-9060 or stevenzwirn, ZWIRN.com.
Creative, enchanting, whimsical. Artist Gina Bella is always creating artwork based on real stories and emotions, expressed through Italian papers, paints, flowers, metals, and clay. Her feelings and stories come to life. Complete with glittery diamond dust over paintings and pottery, Gina Bella is always creating new pieces and commissions. You can find her work in staging homes, family Christian bookstores, New Jersey boutiques, and the Brooklyn Café Gallery, where she offers personal guided tours of her latest art pieces. Gina can also be found hosting weekend art camps, where she teaches adults and children pottery, painting, and jewelry. For more information on Gina Bella and her art, contact livinglifeartfully@gmail.com or give a call to 954-857-5444. We hope you're enjoying this episode of the Brooklyn Cafe TV show. Whether you enjoy watching in the mornings or afternoons, you can now watch with your favorite merchandise. Choose from the Brooklyn Cafe t-shirts, ranging from sizes small to 3XL. Colors available include black, dark heather, and navy. Feeling chilly? Just check out our latest hoodie with over 9 colors to choose from. Sip on some Brooklyn Cafe coffee with Dawn and Freddie in a matching mug as seen on set. Brooklyn hats and special seasonal items are always popping up and available upon request. To purchase, you can visit our online store at brooklyncafe.tv/shop. Happy shopping!
Watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie F.
I'm Bellis.
I will get your bell, though. I got to get your bell. Anyway, welcome back to the Brooklyn Cafe Show. We are so excited to introduce to you through the Brooklyn Cafe. You've met her before through Let's Talk Art with Amy Reshevsky, but we're very excited to bring Rosie Sherman onto the cafe. So welcome, Rosie.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
I saw your post, I guess last week, I guess it was on Facebook, and I reached out and I said, are you in Florida? Happy to say that you're here for the snowbird season from Canada. Right. And you were gracious enough to bring some of your artwork in, and the colors you use are so spectacular.
Well, I really think I was born with a happy gene because I wake up that way.
Wow.
And I've been told that it's reflected in my work. Every single piece, if I had to use one word to describe it, and I paint every subject under the sun, but each one depicts a silver lining because it's my optimism. Wow. It's my happiness. It's reflected in everything that I do. So for example, I'll just use this one as somebody might wake up in the morning and say, oh damn, it's raining outside. What am I gonna do? I'm bored. No, not me. I say, wow, it's the day to paint. I don't I'm not running to the tennis court. I'm not running to do errands. I'm going to my studio, and I'm going to have the best day. This couple had the same idea. They are dancing in the rain. They're not letting it ruin their day. It shows romance, it shows love, and it shows optimism.
I see more than that.
What do you see?
I see a lady rising up, and I don't know what I see.
You see romance?
I don't see romance. I see they're getting busy.
Oh, come on.
I'm telling you,
They're
look at that.
They're kissing.
Kissing. Anytime a leg goes up,
Look how he's got his arm wrapped around her. He's leaning in. It's
wrapped around her, he looks like the rapper on a Good and Plenty bar. I mean, geez Louise.
Oh, Freddie, that's your mind and that
Is it?
coffee you're drinking.
Rosie may never be the same with you.
And the funny thing is that umbrella is purposely blocking my view.
Oh.
But I love
Oh, you
your
didn't notice
silver
that, did you?
lining
Did you?
Optimism.
Oh, yes. She's very
That's-
optimistic.
Because I once asked, like, for many years I painted alone. Because when you're a busy mom and you're working, you have a career, which was decorating, which also helped with my art, you don't have a lot of time to paint. So it was only really when I came down to Florida and retired did I start painting seriously or all the time. And I took workshops and I learned from other artists, and I'm still doing that. But I asked one of my teachers, how would you describe my body of work? And they said, optimism, happiness. I couldn't think of another way to describe it, because I literally paint everything, every subject. If you go back and look at my website, I paint your pets, pet portraits. I paint children on the beach. I paint sailboats. I paint landscapes, florals, abstracts, you name it. But the one thing they all have in common is happiness. So,
And you always like this.
I don't know. It's a good question. I know that I always, yes, I would say yes.
I love that. It's such a breath of fresh air. And what do your kids say? When you decided to start painting, you didn't always paint.
No. I remember when my son was a little boy and he'd sit on the stairs with me and stare at a new painting. And I'd say, so? He was 8. I'd say, so, Matt, what do you think? What should we call it? Pansies. I said, pansies? He says, peaches and pansies. I said, okay, so one of my first paintings is called Peaches and Pansies.
That's awesome.
But in recent years, for example, I've made posters of all my work. This describes my life in Florida.
I love that.
Friends, fashion, fun, tennis, and socializing.
Do you play tennis?
I do.
And have you ever worked on magazine covers or fashion design?
No, but I take pages out of fashion designs, and so I get ideas for women, because sometimes, as with any creative person, you do get writer's block. So I flip through fashion magazines, get some ideas, take 3 or 4 pages, and create. So I want to even talk about the one behind you.
Okay.
This last couple of years was obviously difficult for everyone. COVID took a toll on my family and friends. I've lost people. So the last couple of paintings, which is one of these, all are about family. All are about love and togetherness. And she's dancing. So there's my happiness. And he's hugging, and I have one child, so there he is. I have a lot of paintings about family, that type of paintings. Because, yes, it was difficult, but for some people, and for most people, you have to look at the bright side.
You know, the amazing, consistent thing about you is your colors. I mean, if you look around the gallery, people use colors as well. But there's something about how your paintbrush strokes on a canvas, and it speaks volumes because it has detail, there's soul in it. You fill up a room with these paintings. I know that we redid the lobby with her stuff, Studio A. I'm just overtaken. I already know what I want to do with these pieces. I want to hang them up high. It's radiant. And this is such a reflection of you.
Thank you. Well, that's my objective. When someone buys my painting, I want them to wake up in the morning and feel good about it. I want them every day to look at that painting and say, that's a great way to start my day. I sold a painting to a girlfriend, and it was called Attitude. And I said, where are you hanging it? And she said, in front of my bed. And I said, why? And she said, because I want to wake up every morning and start my day with that positive attitude. And I said, that makes me feel great. I want to share that. I want people to feel good. You know, it sounds simplistic, but why not?
And it's very important the way things are right now.
It is, especially in these times when there is so much going on.
So when I got dressed this morning in the 40-degree weather, I thought, I want to look like one of Rosie's paintings. Truly.
Where's your umbrella?
In the car. So have you ever seen this?
No.
See, and she walks in with black and white pieces. So in my mind, it to me was like black and white day, and I don't often wear black and white. And you come in with, they're more geometrical, but I felt like I wanted to look like one of Rosie's paintings today. And I never want to look like a painting.
And I do black and white paintings, and they seem to be quite popular. But somehow, right before it's finished, I always add red lipstick or a pink bow. I have to add some color.
It's so happy. So I love that she put it on the other side of her bed when you wake up, because the first thing you do when you open your eyes is you see something in your room. And that could start your day off. So why not start with a positive attitude?
Right? This one, you can't see it very well from the poster, but it's called Tea Party. And this one is going into a show this weekend at the Schumann Gallery at the JCC. It's big, but it's also about my life, right? It's socializing, it's fashion, it's fun, it's getting together with friends. And I think that's so important.
You know, it's funny. I like to put color around us. And if you look around, even the balloons are colored. Color seems to bring out the best in everybody who comes to visit. I mean, her and I have been doing this. We're entering our 7th year.
Wow.
Knock on wood. And we sort of pick up on what's around us. So you can tell when you come in, it sort of changes the air in the room. The paintings change. A lot of things. And I'm trying to explain to the artists. Amy, I don't have to explain to because she learned this lesson. That's why her show is doing so well when she does it. Okay? But there are certain other artists that have to learn how to develop. It's a feel. You know, it's a giving. Jay is beginning to get into the field of things. He went to black and white and Marcus and everything else. There's a feel to delivering this stuff. And what I love is how it just sparks the studio.
And it sparks a conversation.
Oh my God, everything looks better.
Right, so yesterday, 2 of our crew, the one walks in and she says, I like the sailing, she loves the sailing the sunset. That's her look more than the other ladies we have next to her.
Right.
Okay.
And then Freddie walks in, he goes, well, I like them both, but I'm more apt like this one. And someone else comes in and said, well, I like, so it's a whole conversation on people's taste. But it doesn't matter. It's like when you offer your kids green beans or broccoli. Whichever you choose, you know it's the right choice.
Exactly.
But you're having the conversation.
But you have the conversation.
Exactly. I agree. I want to talk about something else. I think everybody should have a piece of original art. And some people think that you have to take out a mortgage in order to do that. The first time I went to Art Basel, okay, I was so excited. I was expecting to see the most amazing art, and I did. But the first piece I saw was huge. It was a black line and a red circle. And it was $16,000. Now, I hate to say it, but in a way that's a little bit of an insult to some artists, to artists like myself. Because I work hours on my paintings, hours and hours. And my top price is $2,000. I mean, I want people to buy art. I don't want them to run to Home Goods and buy some piece that's made in China that because it's $49. You deserve a piece of original art. You deserve that piece of that artist, whatever your taste is. So, for example, a small piece with me, this is an abstract, obviously. Okay, that starts at $150. Right? Piece like this, $1,800. I'm only talking about price because I think that original art has gotten a bad rap.
A $16,000 piece will give art a bad rap.
Right, and that was not the highest price at the
Not
show.
at all. Not at all.
I mean, I walk into galleries and there's nothing under $10,000. And they say, well, it's big. Well,
So is the price.
yeah, so is the price. I think it should be affordable.
I agree. It should be affordable and it should be something you enjoy. So when you wake up and you look at it, you can say, you know what? I love this. I can afford this. And it makes you smile.
And you deserve it.
And you deserve
There
it.
used to be that hair commercial, Clairol and whatever. I deserve
Because
it.
I'm worth it.
I'm worth it.
Right?
It's the same
And
thing.
if it makes you feel good, you can't really put a price on that. And if you know the artist and they sign the back, it makes you feel even more special. When I was 22, I bought 5 Kincaids. Spent a bundle for these pieces. And the one that I have was my brother. My brother signed the back of it, and I sent it to New Jersey for him to put in a show. And he put gold leaf on it. And he signed the back with a house. It's originally by him, and they sent it back to me. I didn't think I was ever getting it back. And it hangs in my house. And I am so proud of that piece. It doesn't even matter. I mean, I would never sell it. It doesn't matter about anything. It just matters that I actually did something for myself, like you're talking about.
Right.
And I bought these pieces of art. I was only 22. That was over, oh my God, 30 years ago. And I love it. And I can get the feel for what you're saying because you should be happy, especially nowadays. Nobody feels good about themselves right now. Everybody's scared. Everybody's this, everybody's that. But my God, does your paintings change everything going on around us? It's just amazing.
So this piece behind me, I know it means what's so amazing about art is you can look at it one way, and I'll look at it another way, and you'll look at it another way.
True that.
So during Passover, there's a song that's for Miriam's cup, and dancing Miriam's timbrels, her tambourine. And that, to me, that woman dancing is Miriam dancing to her tambourine in that picture. And by no means was that ever anything in your mindset.
No, I
But
love that
think
idea.
It's her necklace. It takes me back in her white gown to, she could be Miriam, and she could have worn necklaces and jewels like that and dancing or like the tambourine. I don't know why I feel like that, but that's what she looks like to me. And then the rest is family, but to me that's Miriam's timbrel.
You know, some of the famous paintings in the world. My sister, when she was at Lehman, she took an art course, and she took me to that building that you have to walk circular. What is that? The Guggenheim?
Guggenheim?
She took me to that. And I was a young kid, and I was looking at it, and she's looking at me. She got her master's in whatever, psychology. And she's looking at me, and she's looking at it, and she says, what do you see? And I told my sister, not what I see, is what I feel. And some of the greatest paintings in the world are about what you feel.
That's right.
And that's what you get here. That's why so many people say, I like this, I like that. And then ask them why. They will give you a whole story about, I remember walking in the rain. They'll give you everything. Everything that has the assimilation of what they're seeing. And that's what makes famous artists. I used to be at Art Basel. I used to run Art Basel. I was in a panel. I was there for 3 years.
No
I walked
kidding.
away. I could not take the pricing in these buildings. Yeah, I got film and everything on it. $160,000. I mean, you saw what they did with the banana and all that.
I was just going to say that. To me, that was the biggest insult to
Agreed.
artists everywhere,
I agree.
right? I mean, most of the artists I know are pretty serious about our work. We spend hours, and we train, and we go to workshops, and we take classes. And no matter how different our art is, we're always learning and spending, time And that was such an insult that somebody actually bought that. Not even so much that they put it up there, but somebody actually paid money.
They paid for money for it. I never forget when I saw that. I could not believe. And then there was the other one where the guy destroyed it. He destroyed the artwork. Remember, they put it in a crusher.
Yep. Banksy? I think it was, right? It's like Banksy, and they shredded it. It was at an auction, and then they shredded the piece right before their eyes.
It's all about being different. And being the same now is different. Because there is no more different. Different has been done and redone.
Yes. The highlight this year for me was the 10-year-old artist at Art Basel that got a lot of recognition. He was on TV after the show. I was envious because he was really promoted by his parents, by his family. His passion to paint was definitely encouraged. Unfortunately, and I love my mom dearly, and in later years, she was my biggest fan. But when I was growing up, she'd say, "It's messy, clean up your room." All I wanted to do was paint. And so that child, that young man, was very, very lucky to be promoted as he was.
To paint. Now, when you do your decorating, I think what intrigued me, I moved a couple months ago, and my brother's an architect, and I would say to him, all right, what should I paint this room? Meanwhile, everything is beige, and I am just not a beige person. And I walk around my house, and I go, I can't breathe. So Amy says, hang another piece of art. So I take another piece of art home of Amy's. And Jay says, take a piece of art. So I've got 2 of Jay's. I've got 2 of Amy's. I've got 1 of Mary's. So my house has become this to cover my beige walls. You did a piece that's green and gold, and I know that was very in, right? And you wrote something about it, how you've learned that the paintings, decorating is one way, and people are looking for certain colors, so you paint to go with the trends also.
Oh, okay. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I had walked into a furniture store, and that was the new trend. And one of the gallery owners had said, I keep getting requests for something to hang over the sofa. So I painted that painting. Do you know what? I've repainted that canvas.
Really?
Yes. And not because I believe that you shouldn't paint to coordinate the room, because that's what I did for so many years, was coordinate the room. But that painting didn't reflect who I am.
So that was my question. Do you paint, do you buy art to coordinate a room, or do you buy art to reflect who you are? So that was going to be my question.
Okay. It's not a simple answer, but I'm going to say both. Okay? Because you put on that lovely outfit today, and the accessories matter. Okay? And art is still not a sofa. Art is still not a kitchen table. Art is an accessory. So, if you put a piece of art that the size is completely wrong, or the colors fight with everything else you've done, it's not going to work no matter how beautiful it is or how much you like it. So, yes, I think that some of the colors that you're bringing in, number 1, should be your favorite colors. The subject matter should be something that you really enjoy looking at. But I do feel on some level it should coordinate.
You know, it's funny. I'm the opposite. I walk into a room and I put a highlighter that everybody talks about. I'll give you a perfect example in this room. You see that corner over there?
Yes.
See that box?
Yes.
That is a real sound booth box. It costs us $3,000. It's a real sound booth. And we had a plan to use it a certain way. And because of COVID, people couldn't come in to sing. So the door is over there, and then that's there. So I filled it with art. I actually went out and I bought a record player and I put it in there. Now, I didn't do this for attention. I did it because it doesn't match anything else in this room. And then everybody came here to take pictures in front of that booth. And now we're going to put lights in it. We have a whole light show going in there when it's right. And people now want to come and take pictures in front of the booth. Why? Because sometimes when you have a painting and it's in black and white, and you put a red lipstick or a red dot somewhere on it, it's exactly what you do. That is the volume of the painting, at least in my life. Paintings work when the artists work with it. So sometimes I gotta have a little abstract. So when people come in here, I want to catch their eye. Exactly what happened on that wall yesterday, that's what I'm looking for. I hung one of Amy's pictures crooked.
Yeah.
Do you know why?
So that it would attract attention.
Okay. Whatever you say. There is no why. There is
Because
no
you
why.
felt like it.
Because we ran out of nails that day, and there she hangs. But and when Slick hangs stuff, he always hangs it there. But everybody said, why is that crooked? Why is what crooked? I don't see crooked. Tell me what you see. Right? What is it? One man's garbage
One
is
man's
another man's food?
trash is another man's treasure. Right.
But I love your flower that we have in the lobby. I should actually go bring some of the pieces in. So many of your pieces, they're all colorful. No matter what genre you like, it's about color.
I know. Because that one has a gray background, silver. So that shouldn't be colorful, but it is.
Absolutely.
Artistic value.
Well, let me
alone.
ask you, why no faces, though?
When I first started painting ladies, if you paint a face, it's someone. I wanted you to be everyone. So that's not my family, that's anyone's family. Right?
Yep.
These friends going out for tea are not just my friends, they could be your friends, they could be your friends. Right? They're women getting together. They don't have faces.
That
because-
reminds me of a book club.
A book club, you've got girls' night out, you've got them around the bar. I mean, there's so many great pieces here, ladies, that I feel one of the greatest things about being the age that we are is one is I don't need the sanitary napkins anymore. So I'm grateful to help all of you ladies that do. I'm grateful that I don't. But I'm also grateful enough that I can stand strong enough in who I am and say, you know what, I love this piece of art, I'm going to buy it. And even if you start with one, and for years, we had hand-me-down art in our house because my mother-in-law gave us art, and someone gave her art, and she gave us art, and it sort of just moved through the house because we couldn't afford art. So that's what hung in the house, and it never came down until I moved. Now I can choose what goes back up, and I can choose what I take back down, and I can choose to purchase some original pieces of art. So now when I look in the kitchen and I see a beautiful piece from Amy that's a butterfly, I see a song that Stacey Mandel made that hangs right under that because they're all oranges and yellows. I see one of your pieces that I got to find a wall space for because I value me enough to say, you know what, I love this piece. I'm going to find space, and I can because I can. And that's what I love about having all of this beautiful art here.
The other thing is sometimes you don't have to redecorate. You just move your art around, right? My husband came home one day and he says, "What did you do?"
Sounds like Amy.
Just move the art around.
All I did was move the art around, you know?
It's funny. I have a friend. She says this is throwaway furniture. She got it from wherever. You can pay it off for 20 years. She says, I'm not married to the furniture, but she has beautiful art. She's got white walls and very simple furniture and beautiful art. Because as you said, a couch is a couch. You can sit, but when you sit on that couch, you want to smile. And does a couch really make you smile?
No,
No, that white couch happens to be a white couch for a set, but all of this is what makes the room.
I agree.
That's why people say to me, are you going to work? Yes. So early? Yeah, I love going to work. How can you not love coming here to what you feel? And
I
then
know, because you have your own gallery here.
I know. We're so blessed.
all I was doing was covering walls. When we came here, there was nothing but boxes. You got a few curtains, and then people started bringing their art. Some of it sold, started to move on. I think it's a great idea to have all of that happen. Then you add the people to the mix, you got the best solution in the world.
So many great. And I love the story you told me that you and Stacey Mandel are now friends in the same neighborhood because you got connected here.
That's right.
And those are the stories that warm our heart, especially in what we all go through and what she went through is if we can actually bring people together on top of enjoying color and artwork, then I feel like you and I have done
Mission
something.
accomplished.
Right? We've done one good thing. Hey, look who's here. We got Coley's Crumbs. How can people find you and
Okay,
your
well,
website?
First they can Google me. Just put in Rosie Sherman Artist,
They're gonna Google.
and about 250 of my paintings should show up. Or you can email me at shermanrosie@hotmail.com. Or you can call Dawn and Freddie at
888-994-4995, or just come into the studio and take a look around.
Well, come see. I guarantee you're going to walk out of here with something spectacular. You know, this is one of those things that as people come in and they buy the pieces, you sort of hold on to it.
I know.
Because you don't want it to go.
I actually asked you before I bought 2 of Jay's pieces. And I
really?
asked you before I bought the Amy's piece that was in front of those chairs. Are you okay if I buy these pieces and
Amy's
take them
piece,
home?
when you put it, was spectacular.
Well, I just want to tell you quickly, the first time I sold a piece of art, I came home with the check, and I was in tears, and my husband said, "That's fantastic. Why are you so upset?" Because I'm going to miss it.
It's true. That's what I can see that. I can see that with your work.
That's why I always ask him before I buy a piece from here, are you okay if I take it out of the studio? Because they become family, like those 2
Yes.
pieces.
That was fine.
But the idea is to get everyone's artwork sold here and to get it into new homes. And the beautiful thing is we've got great artists that create more. So just move from one to another. Rosie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure. I really enjoyed it.
More to come. And she is always happy like this. Amazing. The artwork is fantastic and colorful. So come on down to the studio, take a look around. Give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we've got Coley's Crumbs in the house, and I think Justin Mooney is joining us.
The Happy Painter.
So I'm waiting for our butter to come. So hopefully we get some after holiday butter coming in.
Okay.
We're going to take a break, and we will be.
Even though some things are far away, we plan for them ahead of time because they're important. When it comes to your celebration of life, it's really no different. You want to plan ahead now so your family doesn't have to later, and create a service that reflects your values, character, and traditions, no matter what they may be. At Dignity Memorial, we listen to every detail and make sure everyone is remembered.
Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky can help you choose the right piece that will add some magic to your space. Amy Reshevsky has a wide range of art, from abstracts to mosaic tapestries, and she paints on different surfaces, such as reverse painting on glass, tables, wall hangings, and sculptures. Her work can be ordered online at amyreshevsky.com, or you can come in and see it in real time at the Brooklyn Café Art Gallery. She also does commission work, so if you have an idea in mind, she can make it a reality. She invites you to reach out to her at Facebook or at email at amyreshevsky@gmail.com. That's amyreshevsky@gmail.com. Have an artful day.
Jay Harmon exclusively in the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon captures the essence of really creative and captivating mind. Jay Harmon brings light into the darkness on majority of his pieces, using a negative background to highlight the details of some of his looks. I know some artists use white canvases, but he thrives on a black canvas. And here's the kicker. He only uses pencil, colored pencil, graphite pencil, and pencil for his art pieces. Yes, I know it's hard to fathom that these beautiful pieces came from pencil, but yes, they did. And the only way you can experience Jay Harmon is if you come to the Gallery of Boca. Jay Harmon, an unconventional artist with a unique story behind every canvas.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donut. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our design your own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
Welcome to your vacation staycation. And what better way to kick back than to blend up a sweet pina colada, a smooth mojito, or just a nice stiff rum and coke? If you want true relaxation and enjoyment, then you want Gubba Rum. Gubba Rum is a unique rum infusion. Gubba Silver Rum is infused with real shredded coconut, and Gubba Rum Gold is infused with real shredded vanilla bean. Both are made with certified organic ingredients. Each infused Gubba Rum is 35% ABV, 70 proof, and as we say in Boston, wicked smooth. So if you're looking for the best combination of taste, smoothness, quality, and price, your clear choice is Gubba Rum. If you want that wicked smooth taste for yourself or your vacation staycation, visit GubbaRum.com to find your closest liquor store that carries Gubba Rum Gold and Gubba Rum Silver. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth. Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
With enough butter, anything is good. Tori Wells from Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit PreciousTreasuresGourmetFoods.com because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. There's no substitute for the real thing.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And it's back.
And we got your bell back.
It's funny because the 5G stuff that you're talking about, we've had some friends of ours that said the 5G can kill you. And the airlines industry is the one that's asking the president to stop it or lower it in certain airports because the equipment is so outdated that it's frying it. So you'll be able to bake bread outside your home by taking crumbs, putting it in a pan, and leaving it outside in the sun for 20 minutes.
So apparently,
5G is going to cook it for you.
So apparently Biden intervened on the 9th hour, as they say.
The 9th hour.
And
This
AT&T,
5G is going to kill us all. I'm already feeling a little warm.
is delaying the release, although I think it's already been released.
It's been released, but 5G.
I just think they haven't turned up the juice all the way, but I definitely think it's been released.
And it's not the same thing as the 5G on your phone. Just because you see a 5 and a G, that's not what they're talking about.
So it's interesting.
Make the bread
A little bit more political. So all we can do at the cafe when things get political is eat and drink.
Now today we have a special ensemble.
We've got Nicole. We go by Nicole Marie? Yeah, Nicole Marie. Nicole. Coley's Crumbs is back in the house.
The bread queen.
When I saw her website last week and I sent it to you, I think you were doing Sarah's Spiritual Show, and I'm texting you pictures of her website. I'm like, you gotta see this.
I said, wow.
Because this is just not recipes. It's recipes. It's cooking. We don't even talk about your cookbook enough. Yeah. So Nicole is back, and we're going to be doing a little, I don't know, salad, I guess, for lunch. So let's see, Slick, you ready to cue up what's for lunch? Let's see
Where's your
for
sound?
lunch today.
Where's your pornographic sound? Where's my blue?
There it is.
And yes, that is rated R. Put your children away.
All right, so let's see what's for lunch today with Coley's Crumbs.
Hi, well, thank you so much for having me back, and I'm happy to be here. And today we are making what I call a fridge salad. So we normally have these in my house when it's super duper busy and everybody's going 50 million directions, and it's just a good way to get something nutritious and healthy and yet satisfying on the table without having to put the stove on, and all the while using your tried and true Coley's Crumbs. So here we go. So today I have green lettuce. This is like a little bit of a lighter lettuce than romaine. It's more buttery. So it's just lighter in texture, and it's still flavorful.
What's it called? What kind of lettuce?
It's green leaf lettuce.
And
it's right
buttery?
next to romaine. Yeah, it is. It's like a softer lettuce than romaine.
Really? And that's
Would you
called
like to
buttery?
try a little bit?
No, I'm going to be trying some. That's called I never knew that lettuce could be buttery.
Yes.
Did you know that?
So
Green leaf
the reason
lettuce.
why I call this salad my fridge salad is because it's basically whatever I have in the fridge. So today what I had was a little bit of black olives, which my family loves. Except for Nick, though. He doesn't like the black olives, so this is why I'm making it
That's
this
why they're
one.
leftover olives, because Nick
This one,
doesn't
yeah.
eat them.
So this is why we're making this one today. So Nick will be happy that he doesn't have to have this one. A little bit of cucumber. I always have cucumber in my fridge. My kids love it with a little bit of salt and pepper or hummus. Some pepperoncini peppers, which
love this salad.
I like to use sometimes instead of onion because, you know, sometimes people are afraid of onion, you know, if you're having lunch with someone or like at
Then
dinner
you breathe
time.
on them, yeah.
Yeah, that too.
The breathing thing.
Tomatoes, I always have tomatoes in my house. It doesn't matter what kind of tomatoes you have. Just chop them up in all different sizes and you're good to go. And I always like to add a protein and a cheese. Today we have a little bit of honey turkey and some American. This is just, like I said, what I had in my fridge. So this is what's happening today. And, you know, everybody eats with their eyes, so visually I like to make things pretty. Otherwise, if my kids don't like it, don't like the way it looks, chances are they're definitely not going to eat it.
So it's the psychology of getting them to eat it.
Psychology of food.
Psychology of food, that's it. And last but not least, this is where I like to use the Coley's Crumbs. Instead of croutons, you want it a little bit lighter. Like, again, I said, you don't have a bunch of time. You're just going to open up the package and you're going to sprinkle it on. In lieu of croutons, in lieu of, you know, like a crunchiness, like a nut or anything like that, put this on and there you go. You have your fridge salad, good to go. Again, nutritious, delicious.
Easy.
It's gonna fill your belly. It's super easy, perfect for a late night meal, a lunch for two, or just like a quick snack. And you can do whatever you want with this. You could put any type of protein in here you want. It doesn't have to be meat. It could be veggies. You can do beans. Whatever your flavor is, you know, you can make it your own. So this is one way to use Coley's Crumbs that's not cooking and still flavorful, still delicious, and satisfying.
Dawn, this is right up your alley.
So right up my alley, and I would have never thought of putting breadcrumbs, right? The breadcrumbs that you buy in these containers in the regular stores, you would never use it just like that.
Right.
No.
What is, right? But this you don't think twice about it. So what's the difference between Coley's Crumbs that you can just use this as a topping versus another breadcrumb?
Well, Coley's Crumbs already come super flavored. So in here you have organic garlic, parsley, Parmesan cheese, a little bit of butter. So literally, like you just saw me do, you rip open the bag, put it on top, and you have even more added flavor to whatever it is that you're cooking. So you can add this not only to salads, but to pastas, soups, anything that you want a little bit more flavor or crunch added to.
Now, I have a question.
Sure.
So, you know, sometimes you're on the go, and let's say you have chicken breasts.
Right.
And you don't season them because you don't have time.
Right.
So when you season the chicken breast and you want to put egg and then the breadcrumb on it and you cook it, it's really not going to taste great because you don't have enough time to season the meat. Same thing with steaks and stuff. If I wanted to use your breadcrumbs,
Yes.
would it give me more flavor on that type of scenario?
100%. Yes.
That's what I'm thinking. I think just breading, because I know you don't like breading. But when you do this and you take it out of the fridge and you go, it tastes like it just came out of the fridge. Because those breadcrumbs that they sell, I'm sorry, 4C, ABC, EFG, all that, that stuff don't work, man.
Nope.
It's like, you know, give it to the kids to give them something to eat, but I got no taste.
There's no taste, there's no flavor, there's nothing.
So you're just putting in the salt and you're putting all this other stuff in there but you have taste already in your breadcrumbs.
Yeah, you know, and like I discuss it with some of my girlfriends who are super busy. They do not have time to cook. My girlfriend's like, oh my gosh, I ripped it open the other day and I literally had to add nothing to it, no flavor, you know, because she made chicken cutlets for her kids. And yeah, she was like, and they turned out great. The kids love them. So again, for a super quick weeknight meal or chicken cutlets or tenders or whatever you like to make, they're perfect. You don't really need to add any more seasoning to them.
You don't need to add any seasoning to it, and it's easy. Rip it open and it's done, and it's not in a plastic container. It's in paper, and everything is eco-friendly.
Yes.
In your packaging.
Yes, and so yeah, I've taken all the guesswork out for you.
Makes it so easy. Where do people get Coley's crumbs?
So you can find Coley's crumbs not only on my website at NicoleCampo.com, but you can find them at Joseph's, The Boys, Doris's Market, and for those of you on Long Island, you can find them at Tuscany Gourmet Market as well.
You like breadcrumbs? Yeah. You like to cook?
Yeah. He is a cook.
I know.
This is the man with the donut you can eat with a spoon.
There you go. Oh, okay.
Because the topping is delicious, and then the pastry is like the dessert.
Gotcha. Gluten-free? Not yet. Not yet? Oh, not yet. I like that. Okay.
Well, that'd be interesting.
You can make
gluten-free donuts.
You can make donuts.
Have you ever made a gluten-free donut?
I have.
You use your stuff to make donuts?
Very well, yeah. I'm sorry?
You can use your stuff to make donuts?
Not the Coley's crumbs. No, that's a completely different recipe.
Is it? But it's a recipe.
You've got great recipes though on your website.
On my website, yeah, there are a lot of recipes on the website. All new ones to come for the new year. They are going to be uploaded soon. So yeah, go on NicoleCampo.com, check them all out for tonight's meal or any night of the week. Go ahead and search it up. There's plenty there for you to choose from.
Where did you get all those recipes?
Family recipes, my husband's favorites, ones that I've just come up on with my own.
Really?
On my own.
You experimented all of those pieces?
Yeah.
Eggplant Parmesan. You like eggplant Parmesan?
I do.
So she's got that recipe. And I got to tell you, I don't know how you do eggplant parm and it's not bitter, because then they say you soak it in salt. I had to take a look at the recipe, but the breadcrumbs make it sound spectacular. It's so easy.
It's very simple. Yeah, that's actually one of my grandmother's. That's my grandmother's recipe.
I love eggplant parm, but sometimes it's bitter, sometimes it's not, and you never know until you actually go in and you take a bite.
Bitter?
Yeah. Sometimes the eggplant comes out bitter.
The eggplant is bitter? Well, what was wrong with it?
I guess I didn't salt it enough.
Was it a regular eggplant, or you bought a disciple of an eggplant?
No, regular eggplant, but apparently, is this a true thing? You need to salt it to take out some of the bitterness? Yes?
Yeah.
There you go.
That's like breadfruit.
Have you ever salted it?
No, I just cut it, put it, ate it. It was fine. It's like breadfruit. You know breadfruit? It's called panas. You have to take out the guts, right? And we used to serve that to the pigs, the guts. You don't eat that. So my sister, she cooked it with it on it. And I said to her, dummy, nobody can eat this. This is disgustingly bitter.
And you wonder why people don't cook for you. If someone said to you, dummy, you can't cook like this, no one's going to eat it.
She invited me over to dinner, and I was waiting all day. And I get there, and I got to get McDonald's, because nobody's going to eat this thing. That's why I don't go to Dawn's house for dinner.
So you notice I've stopped bringing you lunch? That's why.
You got to say.
We bring Nicole in now. At least you get real food.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Then that was so easy.
Listen, you saw me make it. All that's involved in this is just prep work. That's it. And whatever it is that you like to put in your salads or veggies or protein of any kind, you're good to go.
Well, this one eats salad every place. You just had peppers and stuff.
Yes. In a container.
You can make it however you want it.
It just gives me allergies. So all I
But
got
I'm
to say.
excited to actually talk to Nicole after the show about putting a cooking show together.
Ooh, yeah,
Yes,
that's
I
gonna
think
be
it's
super
it's
exciting.
it's way overdue, and some people want to get involved with her as well. It's funny because when you cook, if people throw ingredients at you to put in there, it's kind of fun
Yeah, it
because
is.
you don't know what's going to happen.
We want to do a cooking show and incorporate the butter. So maybe somehow we can incorporate your donuts with the lemon vanilla butter flavor. I don't know. We'll have to figure this out.
Ooh, that would be a good one, yeah.
Well, his donuts are very different. You know, his donuts are huge, and it has we call it in Spanish a postre on top. So you
Okay.
eat that with a spoon, and then you have the donut.
And then you have the donut. That is interesting.
There's like instructions in the bottom of the box how to eat this donut.
You can eat it however you want.
I gotta tell you, there's the right way and then there's the other way. If you want the full effect, I mean, you can eat it any way you want.
So the good thing is when you can have a salad, then you can have a donut. It's like when people have pizza and diet soda
Right.
because it counteracts it. So
21 White Castles and a Diet Coke.
exactly, because you're eating
That's
healthy.
New York.
That is New York.
My
yeah.
father used to say, 21 White Castles and Diet Coke. He used to look at me and go, boy, you're very confused.
You're eating healthy. And how about your bread?
The bread you can find on NicoleCampo.com. You can just DM me or email me, whatever you like. That's available for local purchase only as of right now. Not for shipping yet, and not at any of the stores yet, but we're working on it.
But it is delicious. Maybe we can be like a pickup point for people that are looking for it here. We can keep it in the freezer because, oh my, you should take a loaf home and make it.
You want to be, yeah, I'm taking it today.
Oh my goodness, delicious.
I've
Thank
been
you.
forgetting to take it. And I noticed nobody volunteers. Hey, Freddie, you
They're
forgot.
on the door, Freddie.
Yeah, I know, but nobody volunteers. I noticed how sneaky you are on Fridays.
Gotta go.
I let you know where they were.
Yes, you did.
Yes, she did. That's this boy. I should look at my fridge more often.
All right, we're going to see what's for lunch. We're going to have some of the salad. Check it out, NicoleCampo.com for recipes for what's for lunch and what's for dinner. And of course, Coley's Crumbs you can find at Doris's, you can find at Joseph's. You can give her a call and she can send it to you. They are gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and they're
Organic,
delicious.
Preservative-free, yep. Thank you
Easy.
very
And
much.
Dawn's going to be cooking chicken colored Parmesan.
I should try that actually.
You should. We should bring in a hot plate and do it. Can you do that off a hot plate?
Probably.
Yeah, and a toaster oven for sure.
Hot plate and a toaster oven. And I got an extra toaster oven.
You do?
I do. So,
I bet you it's never been opened.
it has been.
No, it hasn't.
Absolutely.
She's going to go home and open it now.
Yeah.
Mess it up a little bit. See, I tell you it was open.
Set it up in the back. It's good to go. All right, we're going to take a commercial break, have some lunch. When we come back, we're going to talk to Justin Mooney of HH&K, Attorneys at Law. So let's see what's going on with estate planning. Give us a call with any questions, 888-994-4995, Studio A, and we'll be right back.
Media Productions and WNN Money Talk Radio have been in conjoined business for 10 years. They've been working around the clock, nonstop, to promote over 500 shows and businesses with added platforms such as social media live streaming, podcasts, and the specialty of live radio. To amplify your impact and start your show today, contact AMP Media Productions at 866-224-5422.
Welcome to an after-school Thursday meeting at Dwyer High School's Love Club, where you can find 9th through 12th graders making change in their community, starting with love.
The Love Club is centered around learning how to love yourself in order to love others around you.
Student-led, with the help of Miss Zanardi, these students are busy at work, planning and fundraising for a memorable and inclusive special needs prom.
Meet me at the red carpet event will be taking place this February 18th, 2022.
You can contact us at the Love Club Dwyer on Instagram or jennifer.zanardi@palmbeachschools.org.
Don't be shy. Reach out if you'd like to support these students making an impact.
Justin Mooney is special counsel of the Florida office of Hinman, Howard & Cattell Attorneys. Justin's practice focuses on tax, estate planning, guardianship, probate, and trust administration. His passion is to provide clients with sophisticated estate plans which carry out their wishes, reduce any potential taxes, and preserve wealth for future generations. The attorneys of Hinman, Howard & Cattell provide first-class legal services and have achieved a reputation for excellence for over a century, staying on the leading edge of the law. When you need representation or legal counsel, contact Justin Mooney at 561-276-1000. 1008 or jmooney@hhk.com.
Here at the Brooklyn Cafe, our subjects range from hot topics, feel-good stories, and back-in-the-day nostalgia. With guest personalities and business features, you just never know who you'll see on the show. With our brew crew on set, we always air live to inspire, educate, and create. Make it a date and have a day at the cafe. Join Dawn and Freddie every weekday morning from 9 to 10 a.m. and for lunch every weekday from 12 to 2. Amplify your voice. Call us at 866-224-5422 or visit our website at brooklyncafe.tv.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? Wherever this glorious day takes us, and we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do. Baby, hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights. Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
I've never had a cucumber before. Stop doing more music. Midnight Blue coming live at you.
This is absolutely delicious. This salad comes to you from Coley's Crumbs. What's the name of the show going to be?
What would you like to call it?
Crumble Crunch Time?
This is a cucumber, right?
That's a cucumber, yeah.
I never had one.
What do you think? That's
I
good,
like it.
right?
There's something wrong with me. Okay,
No.
I can't eat these because I think I'm allergic to them, so I'm going to keep them there.
Because, yeah, don't eat them if you're allergic
Oh,
to them.
no, yeah. What are you
Because
allergic
it's
to?
topped with Coley's Crumbs. What do you think, Justin?
It's really good.
So simple, and she just topped it with the breadcrumbs.
Yeah, and instead of like making sure you get a crouton in each bite,
It's already all there, yeah.
Ah, is that a thing?
I-
Put a crouton in each
I
bite?
I love croutons on my salad. But this is better. And you're right, this does have a lot of taste. I'm going to have to go back to... Man, that damn man, how almost cooked. This
You
is
wanna
pretty
cook?
good. I think so. These are good. Am I a big salad eater?
No, even the olives are good. What kind of olives are those?
Those are the natural black olives. They come in a jar.
Well, see how much I cook? What are those? You open the jar. All right, lunch is absolutely amazing, brought to you by Coley's Crumbs, and that's What's for Lunch. We're going to talk to Justin Mooney of HH&K, attorneys at law. People are moving down. It is season now. Yeah, we actually have a season this year where people are coming down from the Northeast from the very bad winter down to our beautiful winter here in South Florida and what it looks like. Actually, Rosie Sherman, the artist who is here, she spends half the year here. and half the year in Canada. So as people come in and people are moving down, snowbirds decided to become regular Floridians and flocking here. Talk
So you
about
want
what
me
it's
to
like.
talk and eat at the same time?
No, I would not.
Okay.
What it's like and why you should put your documents in place. So let's bring Justin over.
Yeah, a lot of the common calls that I have coming in is a lot of people, they moved to Florida from vast majority of the time it's the Northeast, and they want to know, do I need to update my documents? Were they done right? A lot of the times I have clients with documents they did 10, 15 years ago that they haven't even looked at. They just signed them at the office and didn't even really look at them. So I have them come in, I look over the documents, provide them with a thorough review and be like, this is what you have, this is where all your stuff's going, this is who's going to be in charge. And they're like, oh, that's not what I remember. That's not what I told the attorney. Or there's some kind of miscommunication. It's not exactly how they wanted it. Or, there's a divorce or a death or a new birth and they want to make changes to their documents. And that's what I've been seeing a lot more recently from a lot of people moving down here, especially because our real estate market is very hot still. A lot of people are just moving from New York because you can get a house and land here for a fraction of the price of what they're paying for up there.
That is true. You look at the prices and you can get everything as much as it's expensive here,
Yeah.
not compared to some other place in the United States.
Yeah, and the only reason that the sales aren't moving so quick right now is there's no inventory.
There's none left.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people don't sell during the winter months. They said this is the cool down period.
Mm-hmm.
But I can tell you right now, it's still heating up. If you got
Yeah.
a piece of property and you put it out there, it's going to go in like 2.3 seconds.
Yeah.
So
I think now it's the perfect time to sell because you don't have to worry about hurricane season. So to me in Florida, it would be different. You don't have to worry about shutters. You got time to get your hurricane preparedness on your house. Perfect time to sell. So when people are coming down, they have their documents, what do they need to do?
They need to contact me. I'll do any listeners of the show. I'll do a free review of their documents, and if we need to make changes, we can move forward with that. And even if they continue to spend time in New York but they're moving to Florida, I'd recommend with them establishing domicile so they can have homestead protection on their home and also look at potential income tax savings depending on where their income's coming from. Because if they maintain their full-time residency in New York, even though they spend time down here, they're going to get hit with a New York tax bill. But if you establish your residency down here and you just have retirement income, you can probably avoid New York income tax if you
Is there a
establish your
certain
domicile.
amount of time that you need to live here for? It's like 5 months in a day or something, I heard.
Most of the time, it's going to be at least 6 months out of the year. And if you want to avoid a fight with New York's Department of Revenue, you're going to want to change your vehicle registration, your license, your insurance, basically establishing a community down here that you're connected with. Because I've had clients that just live here 6 months, but their kids go to school in New York. That's where their car is titled. That's where their insurance is. That's where they go to their religious organizations, and the state tax people will say, no, we're going to tax you New York.
You have to change everything over.
So let me ask you, when you come down with a New York plate, how long do you have legally to change that plate over to a Florida plate?
I think it's about 30 days.
That's correct. And you know how many people don't do that? That's right.
90% of them?
About 99% of them.
Yeah.
And they do it because, number one, they don't realize, because there is problems if you don't do it.
Yeah.
What
Your
are some of
insurance
the-
company may determine not to pay a claim out.
Now, do you wonder why I know that?
How long did it take you to turn your plates over?
It wasn't 30 days, I can tell you that.
And what happened?
Yeah, you got in an accident.
And they didn't cover
And the
your
insurance
claim?
company says, get the insurance company in New York to pay for you. We ain't paying for it. True story.
Yeah, I
True
have
story.
friends that do insurance litigation, and they say, make sure everything's in place, because your insurance company, most of them will try and find any way to not pay out on a claim.
True that. And right now, insurance companies are not paying anything. And I love when my friends tell me, oh, I'm a safe driver. Yeah, but don't mean that somebody else ain't going to hit you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a safe driver. I have all my paperwork in order. I got a friend of mine, I was telling you about her. Nothing is in order. Nothing. And she's running around now like a chicken with her head trying to gather the information
Yeah.
to be able to call you, because they never in 50, 60, 70 years ever thought their father didn't have anything in order, which is always a myth.
Yeah.
Parents don't always have things in order, like mine.
No. Does it matter if your documents are from one state and you move to another? Are they still?
Generally, they're going to be, if they're effective in that state, they're going to be effective in the state you move to. There's a few exceptions. One of them is going to be for what's called a holographic will, which means if you write it by your own hand and then sign it, that's called a holographic will. In Florida, that's not going to fly unless you have 2 witnesses with it as well. Yeah.
Wow.
Some states allow it, very few, but Florida outright is one of the few exceptions that it has. It says, all the other states, if it was executed properly in that state, will deem it as validly executed, except if it's one of those wills or a non-culpatory will, which is basically just an oral will. You're on your deathbed telling someone this is what you want. So those are not valid in Florida.
And what about
I would not
what
think those
about
are
an
valid.
audio? Can you take an audio recording? Does that count?
Not in Florida.
Or a video?
No.
So, like, if you're on your
Has to be
deathbed
written.
and you want to put your will together, you got to call an attorney in, and you got to get it done.
I would recommend having an attorney. At a minimum, you could write it, on a piece of paper and then
With
just
2
have 2 witnesses. But that's going to be subject to challenge. I have a colleague that works in the villages, which is, for those who don't know, in Florida, it's a elder community with a lot of senior citizens living there, and she does a lot of deathbed wills. They'll be signing it, and within a day they die.
Wow.
So she goes to the hospital and meets with them. But she has meticulous records, and usually most of her stuff doesn't get litigated. But if someone's on their deathbed and, the only 2 witnesses are the people that are getting everything, and that could be suspect.
So the idea is to get your paperwork in place early. The paperwork that we're looking to put in place is, 1, your will.
Yes. Durable power of attorney, which is all your if you become incapacitated, it's all your financial decisions are going to be made by, this person, or if they're not available, my backup. Your healthcare surrogate, which is all your healthcare decisions are made by, who you have as your backup or your alternate. And then your pre-need guardian, which is saying if you're deemed incapacitated by a court in Florida, that you want this person to serve as the guardian of your property and your person, making all your decisions. And then you'll want to have a living will, which is very popular in Florida. It's because of the Terry Schiavo case. If you don't remember, she was mentally incapacitated and being kept alive artificially for, I think, over 7 years. I think it was either 7 to 10 years. And her husband was trying to fight to have her life-sustaining measures removed from her. And the court said that she didn't have anything in place stating that she didn't wish to be kept alive. So it took them that long to figure out, what her real wishes were. But now, and back then, what you should do is have a living will, which states if you're deemed mentally incapacitated and there's going to be no hope of recovery, completely brain dead, terminal condition, that you want to have your life-sustaining measures removed or not given to you at all.
Is there a question of finance on that? If they say you want to be kept alive and there's no money to keep you alive, then what happens?
I don't know how it works internally with the hospitals, but I think most of the time the hospital administrators are not going to be the ones that pull the plug. Because if they do, they're going to get sued by the family.
How long will a hospital keep you on life support? If you don't have your documents in place
Yeah,
and you're in Florida,
yeah.
indefinitely?
Indefinitely.
Wow. And now think about what that cost of healthcare is.
But they must pass the buck to family, because I can't see a hospital keeping you indefinitely.
Well, they can't. I mean, if the person's resources are exhausted, they can't go after the family. You're not held liable for someone else's debt.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No. I
It's like-
think it's even more and
Yeah,
more
a lot of people have this misunderstanding. If someone dies destitute with a bunch of loans due on them, the family's like, "Oh, we have to pay for that." No, you won't unless
Really?
you sign off to be a co-signer on that loan or you agree to it at any point, you're not going to be held liable for your loved one's debts. The one caveat is just if you would have received, if they had $100,000 cash and they had a $100,000 debt and you were supposed to receive that cash, no, that debt's going to wipe out the cash first. But you won't be personally responsible for the debt if there's no cash.
Isn't it easier to call the man and have a conversation?
Yep.
He's not committing you to anything, but let him tell you where you're at so you can have some choices. You know, I must have gotten a lot brighter as I get older. Because when I was young, I was dumb.
It's funny because you said to me yesterday, Justin was right. I was like, okay. And I thought that was funny when you said that to me because I'm thinking, that's what he does. Of course. And I said to you, what do you mean he was right? And we were discussing something, or insurance or something.
Yeah.
He was right.
Yeah, so I think, you become wiser as you get older because of the people you surround yourself with.
Is that what it is? I'm
Yeah.
brilliant because I surround myself with
Yeah. I
think you're
enlighten you on the law, you enlighten me on media and advertising.
I kind of like that combination. But I got to tell you, this was delicious, by the way.
I've never seen you eat a whole salad.
I have never had anything so unbelievable.
And without blue cheese dressing, so he
No,
makes it green.
no blue cheese.
Nothing.
This dressing is to die for. You got to put this dressing, whatever you put this, you got to put it in a can and sell it. But the combo of the breadcrumbs.
With the breadcrumbs, too.
And the dressing and the buttery.
There you go.
Lettuce.
Right?
Now, you ever seen me eat a whole lettuce on set?
I've never seen you eat a salad.
7 years? Yes, you have.
I've seen you eat Caesar salad with Caesar dressing, which
She said
sort of
that,
takes away
why
the
don't you
whole
just tell
salad
everybody
situation.
my laundry?
That was a
Why
long
don't you
time
just tell
ago.
the world everything that I eat?
Well, that was a long time ago. I don't know
Yeah,
what
but
you eat
don't
now.
say nothing. Just zip it.
But you must have enjoyed
Zip
it.
What's the matter with you?
There's more.
It was pretty. I'm gonna tell you, this is pretty good.
It was really good.
But I don't want to lose my train of thought here because if you are healthy and if you can speak on the phone, call the guy and just have a conversation about what you got going on in your life. You'll be surprised. Like I was. That's why I said Justin was right.
Yep.
You'll be surprised at what you think is real isn't real. And you'll be surprised. A lot of Google people out there. You know what a Google people
It's like
is?
a Google doctor.
They say, what is wrong with me? Let me Google it. Oh, this is what you got. And they're pointing at their phone like this is real. To me, you're perfect. All right, take it easy.
Did you hear Siri?
All right, Siri, calm
She
down.
thinks you're perfect.
Of course. I have a well
Did you
trained.
hear that? To me, you're perfect.
That's
What'd you
'cause
pay
I
her
use
to
it.
say that?
I'll pay you later. But the object of the game is everybody gives you an opinion that's 90% incorrect.
Yes.
And that's so sad because here I am thinking that this was the way this is until I spoke to my genius ego over here, kind of ego. Now I feel really bright. And I was wrong all this time because I got bad advice.
And was it scary?
No, it made me angry.
Yeah, but he doesn't make it scary. He's not intimidating. Justin sits here and
Tells
gives
you
you
the
the
truth.
information.
Tells you how it is. And if you don't want to listen to him and you want to Google it, go ahead and do that. But at least you have a choice. He gives you a choice. But sometimes when I talk to him, I feel really stupid. You know, I used to be in the insurance game back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the things that they told me today when the bubble burst have changed. All sorts of not trusting people and things of that nature have occurred. And he knows what I'm talking about. So you got to be really, really careful what you say. Now, you have kids, all right? And you never know what can happen. It's not like you wake up and you say, okay, today's going to be the last day on earth. You don't do that. So you got to be well prepared. And what I'm saying is don't be afraid to learn the truth. And that, my friend, is what's wrong with the Latino community. We don't like the truth. Hurricane 5 is coming this way. I get through with tomato. Right? That's the problem. The way we sort of resolve issues is we stick our head in the sand and we sort of get a sunburn on
I
the
don't
other
think
end.
that's the Latino community. I think that's people in general because they're afraid, one, what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Two, you got to make a decision like guardianship for your kids, right? That's the first thing you think of when you're putting your wills
Right.
together. When your kids are older, then you think, all right, my kids are taken care of. No one thinks about revisiting these issues because the kids are taken care of. The money will be, they figure, distributed however. They don't think about it. They don't think about their health care surrogate. They don't think about putting a living will in place.
And it's not always money, it could be assets.
Yeah.
Like my parents died and they left us all this property. And I'm gonna tell you, no day, I lost Dad at 17. I haven't woken up one day with a clear head as to what the hell am I gonna do now? And my sister's the same way. And these are problems you're gonna have to live with.
Yeah. Well, I think another thing is there's this fallacy that you can do it yourself. Like there's a lot of forms online. I've had clients use LegalZoom or the Susie Orman forms. They're not in and of themselves bad forms. The thing is the value I bring to the conversation is my experience and everything that I've learned in law school and my tax program and what I learned from the clients. And I put that all together and then I put it into the document. You know, some of these documents are fairly simple. They just say, this is who I am, this is who I want making my decisions, stuff like that. And if that's all it is, it's fairly easy for me to put things together. But a lot of the times people have these complex relationships with family, or they have these wishes, how they want their money to be held into a trust so that it continues on and they don't have their spendthrift child spend it all, and then it continues on for the benefit of grandchildren and great-grandchildren, things like that. I think that when people think they can do it themselves, they look into it, and they figure they'll do it at some point, and they put it off, like chores around the house. You're like, oh, I'll fix that fence later this year, or something like that, and that day never comes. I think, calling me, I'll do a free consultation or review your documents. I'll tell you what you need. If you want to move forward, then we can definitely do that. But I'll give you a roadmap of what we can do, or an outline of what you need to have done now, those kind of things.
People start different stages of lives with different documents. Because maybe they say they can't afford. There's a price, of course.
Yeah.
And you will work out a price. But if you can't afford those 5 main documents, would there be maybe one, or do you offer a package price? What's the best way it works?
I generally just do them all together.
Oh, okay.
And more advanced is I do a revocable trust. That's if we want to avoid probate, or they have property outside of the state of Florida. That's something that I include, and it gets a little bit more expensive. And then if they have tax concerns, we do an irrevocable trust. But it's all kind of a sliding scale depending on how complex the situation is. Some estate planners won't say this, but not everyone really needs a will. Even if you're married in Florida, when you die, everything will go to your spouse automatically if that's what you want. Well, like I said, every situation's different, and it'll depend on what you need individually.
But what if you have kids and there's 10 kids and you're gonna have to decide?
Gets a little bit more complex. Are all the kids from the same? So, mom and dad have 10 kids.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So if mom and dad have 10 kids and they're all their kids, everything goes to mom if.
Is that the way it works?
If dad dies.
Oh.
Yeah.
And then when one spouse is left, then that's where then it gets disseminated after that fact.
Yes. So it gets, let's say dad dies and mom then dies later, then everything gets split up between the 10 kids.
What if they divorce, mom and dad?
If they're divorced, then no, that it won't. It's called intestacy laws. So if dad dies, or mom and dad are divorced and dad dies, everything just goes to the kids.
Does it go evenly or by will?
It goes evenly unless there's a will.
Unless there's a will.
Yeah.
I'm beginning to look at this differently.
So if you like one kid more than the other.
What about if I get my kids to pay for all of this? I mean, they're the ones getting it anyway.
Yeah.
I got the 3
You're going to change it?
I'm calling them up saying, yo, you guys, what? You got to pay to get in the game. I kind of like this. See, I tell you, the older I get, the company I keep, the smarter I get.
Yeah.
So is there, like in medical facility, doctor, there's HIPAA?
Yes.
Are there some sort of professional courtesies that people sit and work with you that you keep client?
Yeah, so attorney-client
confidentiality?
privilege. So anything that they say in my confidence when I'm having these conversations with them, I keep. So, like, for example, even if Freddie's kids pay for my services, Freddie's my client. Anything he says in our conversations, I keep between us.
I'm liking this more and more. More and more, I tell you. Is there futuristic value to something? Suppose that, I don't know, she's a cook, and let's say that she's ready to explode and she has things in place, like contracts and stuff in place, and things happen. Is there a value that goes towards helping that your spouse or significant other, divorce, whatever, get to that point in terms of the value, the fulfillment of it? Because I know that what's going to happen is when you're divorced, the kids are going to want. And then the ex-wife is going to say, but wait a minute, I built him. I helped him do what he does and things of that nature. Is there any kind of, or is that, you can't get over
That should have been covered in the divorce.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it better and better.
Your ex-wives have no claim on AMP.
I don't remember their names.
Yeah, they got no claim
But
on
this
your
is what I'm
business.
talking about. These are, I mean, you think about the most craziest questions and scenarios, but if you think about it, you know, you worked in the game a long time and you put in the sweat and effort and everything else, it should go where you want it to go. Right. And if you can have a conversation on the phone, you can have a conversation with him. Do it. Get it out the way. And then you can live with yourself no matter what happens tomorrow. And I'm not saying you have to do anything, but let him give you choice.
I always find the living will interesting because how you never know if you want people just to keep you alive on life support forever.
Yeah.
Or you put a time limit on
What
it.
do you want? Are you going to have people keep you alive?
No.
I'm the only one. Keep me alive
You and my mother.
until the electricity turns
My mother
out.
says the same thing. Keep her alive on all
Only
kinds of
God
life
can
support.
play God. If you didn't want me alive, you shouldn't have created the machine. That's all I'm saying. Why'd you create the machine? It's not my fault. And I tell the doctor, you're going to bill me, I'm going to bill you. You built the machine, now you got to keep me alive.
Now, me, I don't, but I wouldn't even know what to say. 30 days, 60 days. So to me, that's where it gets kind of murky. Is how do you know how long? Because maybe they put you in a state of coma because you need to heal from something. You have to sort of defer to
You're
the
getting very
doctors.
complicated.
But it gets complicated.
Yeah, I
right?
mean, it's things that you can specify in your living will. Most of the things are if I have a terminal condition, if I'm in a persistent vegetative state with no hope of recovery, as determined by one or more physicians, you can have things like that in there. Another thing is in...
Can I ask for the Pope, as determined by the Pope? Not
You c-
physicians. I want a man of God.
I've told clients this before. You can put whatever you want in some of these documents. It doesn't make it, you know, it's not obligating the Pope to show up. But if you're trying to put something in there, this, block, you don't think you'll ever get the Pope to certify that you are in a persistent vegetative state, then yeah, we can put that in there. So it's kind of a legal impossibility that you will ever have the plug pulled.
But yet a possibility.
Yeah.
Outside chance.
Yeah.
And I find the
Play the
guardianship
angles.
piece interesting also. Things for as an adult. that you wouldn't-
Guardianship?
Guardianship. If you are not unable to make your own decisions,
Yeah.
do you put that in place for everybody that's part of the legal documents?
Yeah, the pre-need guardian forms. It's become very common, especially in Florida in the last
Oy.
5-10 years. And basically what the standard is when someone in the person's life thinks that they are unable to handle their own medical or financial decisions or lifestyle decisions, they'll file with the court a petition for guardianship, and then 3 medical professionals will interview the person to determine their level of capacity, and then the judge will review it, and they'll have arguments from both sides for or against the guardianship, and then one will be put in place depending on what the judge determines the person's level of capacity is. And they'll assign some of those rights to a guardian. Like there's some rights that you can't assign to a guardian, one of them being the right to marry. So basically if you're deemed incapacitated and you can't contract.
Can't get married?
It's not like, there are some limited
No
circumstances.
marriage for you.
You can petition.
Because then someone may want to take your money.
Yeah, if someone is a vulnerable adult, essentially. And
Yeah, but if she's a hoochie mama, who cares?
She's going to take all your money. Your kids are going to care.
Wow, this is like a business.
Yeah.
This is
Hence
serious.
his business, yes.
Wow.
Did you see, you probably didn't, the Sex and the City reboot?
No.
So one of the scenes is that we all know that Mr. Big dies. I'm not throwing that out there, right? There's a whole thing with Peloton
Cue
on that.
gasp.
I'm sorry?
Cue gasp. Do you have that on
Yeah.
the soundboard?
Gasp. Mr. Big Eyes. So they read his will. And he leaves, and I was thinking of you because it was reading the will, and to her, this was just moving on with life. He had put a will in place, and then there's this, and I'm not going to tell you, he leaves money, a significant sum of money, to somebody else.
That was crazy, yeah.
Right?
Not to her?
I'm sure she got her her fair share, but
It
there
was
was
a
another
secret-
significant amount of money that was left to
A secret
somebody else.
admirer.
And I was thinking of you because there was this client attorney confidentiality.
Yeah.
So even his wife, of all these years, she didn't know what was in the will. The person who the money was left to didn't know the money was in the will. So there was automatically this feud between the two until they sat down. They all said, "Why was it left?" And neither one knew.
But what difference does it make? It
Because
was
it was, well, there you go. And that is exactly
Hey,
why
listen,
you need to sit with
in
Justin.
Puerto Rico, I saw
Right,
a
you saw that?
I saw a novela. You know what a novela is?
Yeah.
Soap opera thing, right? In Puerto Rico, this guy, the same thing happened. He died. He left a fortune, not to his wife, but to another man. So the novela went, wow, he left it to a man. Was he gay? He wasn't anything. He was his confidant. And he left it to him to take care of her.
Yeah.
Really, because she was incapable of finances. She just
Just
a blockhead.
spendthrift.
So he went another road to do, but the whole soap opera was about, wow, this guy really did her wrong, yada, yada, yada. And he finally said to her, listen, I got a whole bunch of rules here. I'm not making any money here. I'm going to make sure that you get everything you want and it's done correctly.
So he should have just created a trust then.
Well, you know, they in the day, they didn't have those.
But that would be less drama.
Yeah.
So in Florida, you can't cut your spouse out like that. They get 30% of your estate. So if you have $1 million and you say, I want everything to
Say
go to
what?
my...
But
I
you
want
have to be legally married.
Yes.
Your wife gets 30% off the top, huh?
Yeah.
What a shame. Does the man get 30% of
Yeah.
the wife too?
The spouse.
Yeah. It's called the elective share in Florida.
So you can't say leave her $1.
No. You can say that, but then she can file a claim during the probate administration saying, I want my 30%.
In Florida, does that usually go towards fairness and the woman gets the other 30%? Or the man?
It's automatic.
It's automatic.
Yeah.
Even if you say no, don't because I hate her?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you
if,
can be-
if you're legally married and there's no, your spouse has not waived any, inheritance provisions such as getting the homestead, getting that 30% elective share. There's also certain tangible personal property that they're entitled to. If they don't waive that, and then within 6 months of the estate being opened up, they petition for those things and they get it automatically.
Wow, this gets really complicated.
And you can be legally married and not even living in the same home. And if something happens, that spouse, because you're still legally married, gets at least the 30%.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bury it under the rug. Can't bury it.
I got nothing to say.
I know. How do people reach you?
They can call me at my office. It's 561-276-1008, or they can email me at jmooney@hhk.com.
Is it true that when they go visit you at your office, they get a sample of a donut?
No, we haven't started incorporating the donut business into the law firm yet.
You can take one of your bad boys and cut it into quadrants,
Yeah.
and everybody gets a taste.
Yeah.
When is your vendor fair? Is it this week coming up?
No, it was this weekend.
Oh, it passed.
Yeah.
I was thinking it was like the 15th. How was it?
I don't think it was our target market.
Okay.
There was a lot of people, older people that had health problems. They didn't want to eat
diabetes.
Fried dough. But our plan is to be at the Bacon and Bourbon Festival in Wellington in March, and I think we're going to do a s'mores donut, and the marshmallow fluff filling will be bourbon infused.
Now I'm going to tell you what you do.
Slick and I are in for sampling.
Anytime you go, you have that, what you're going to do, and then you have this salad.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to tell you something, this bad boy is unbelievable. So you give them the health, and then afterwards, I guarantee you 99% of the time, after they have a plate of this, they're going to want that donut. They're going to want it.
Sounds good.
It's just the way people are.
Or
Just
the
coming from a diabetic, I'm going to tell you.
Or the fairgrounds.
Well, no,
Fried
that's the-
anything.
Yeah.
Fried everything. chocolate covered bacon.
What was that called? That oyster she had? Rocky Mountain oyster. He's laughing.
He knows
You know what it is.
Yeah.
He's from Tennessee.
Yeah. One of our producers.
You know what that is? Rocky Mountain oyster?
I did
You
not know
do?
until yesterday.
How the hell do you know that? Are you from Florida or from New York?
I'm originally from Connecticut.
Even further north.
They have
And you
that
know
in
Rocky
Connecticut?
Mountain? Yes, we have plenty of pigs up there.
She learned it down here. Florida's such a mecca of culture, I see.
How in the world does anybody know that?
You and I learned it yesterday.
No, I didn't learn it. Somebody ate it. And
I
told us
learned
about
it. I had not, yeah. One of our producers, she won Miss South Florida Fair and $5,000 to her scholarship fund. She had to do the fair duties yesterday, and one of them was to eat a Rocky Mountain oyster. Yeah, that.
And the grasshopper's next.
Give Justin a call. He will have a free consultation with you. Get your documents in place. Review your existing documents, whatever it is. Just get it done. Get it in place. This way you don't have to worry about it. You can go take care of your fence. Coley's Crumbs, check it out. Coley's Crumbs. Nicole Marie. Nicole Campo, what's your website?
Nicole Campo.
And Coley's Crumbs also. And Coley's Crumbs has its own website too?
Nope, just Nicole Campo.
NicoleCampo.com. Check out the recipes. More to come. And Rosie Sherman, if you like the art behind us, you want to take a look in the studio, give us a call or come on down. Ready for some more lunch?
I'm good.
You're good. All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone.
Cucumbers are good for you.
Stay safe. We got a great lineup tonight on WWNN. Caregiver Solutions at 6.
I can't believe you got me to eat a cucumber.
I didn't tell you to eat it.
It was on the plate.
You lead a horse to
Now,
water.
you
You
see,
cannot
I
make him
can't
drink.
eat those black
don't.
olives.
There's
I
more
can't eat olives.
cucumbers for you.
I tried the olive and my eyes sort of went like that.
They happen to be you and Nick.
I can't eat them.
7 o'clock, tell us your biz. 7:30, Ready, Set, Go Beyond with Jordana Foster. Have a great afternoon, everyone, and we will see you.
See you tomorrow. Don't be late.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Broken Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddie S. will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.
In the cold and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can thicken every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that glaze across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we could